Hello, welcome to Power of Attorney, an overview for librarians. This webinar is brought to you by the Wyoming State Law Library. In case you need to get in touch with us at the State Law Library, here's everything you need to know to reach us. I'm happy to be your presenter today. My name is Leora Hoshall. I'm a law librarian at the State Law Library. Please feel free to email me or call if you have any questions on this topic or on any other matter you might need our help with. Okay, power of attorney. We hear people talking about it all the time. I need to get a power of attorney, I have power of attorney, but what does it really mean? Let's look at a few definitions. Black's Law Dictionary gives us this definition. A power of attorney is an instrument granting someone authority to act as agent or attorney in fact for the grantor. An ordinary power of attorney is revocable and automatically terminates upon the death or incapacity of the principal. This is talking about the document itself, the actual piece of paper. For example, my son signed the power of attorney. The next part of the definition states that power of attorney is the authority so granted by that piece of paper, specifically the legal ability to produce a change in legal relations by doing whatever acts are authorized. For example, my son has power of attorney for this transaction. There are a couple other words that are helpful to know when you're dealing with powers of attorney. Agent. This is the person who has received the special permission to act. For example, my son is my agent for this transaction means my son has permission to take action on this matter. Then there's the principal. This is the person who has granted the permission. So a patron might say to you, I'm the principal in this real estate deal, but my son isn't handling it the way I want him to. Or better yet, I'm the principal in this real estate deal and my son is doing exactly what I expected. Let's take a quick look at a few particular kinds of power of attorney. Here are some particulars. These definitions address issues such as under which circumstances the power of attorney is effective, or for how long. Now that we have a good sense of what power of attorney is, let's have a quick look at a couple of general websites that might be helpful. Many of you are probably already familiar with NOLO law products. NOLO produces books that can be very handy for pro se litigants and others who are handling legal matters without the assistance of a lawyer. NOLO offers a few publications that address power of attorney. Now, as you might be able to see on this screen grab here, several of these items are specific to New York law or California law, so there might not be a whole lot here that's useful to someone who's working with Wyoming law. But it might be worth the patron's time to check it out just in case. This page is for a service called My Directives. One common reason for a person to be interested in powers of attorney is if he or she is thinking about medical decision-making and end-of-life care. I want to be very clear here, advance medical directives are not the same thing as a power of attorney. But they often go hand in hand if a person is making plans for medical care and wants to grant power of attorney to a certain person in certain circumstances. So a patron who is asking about power of attorney for medical decision-making may also want to see information about advanced medical directives. This website offers a free service to help individuals create and store their directives electronically. Alright, those are a couple of general resources that might be helpful. Now let's see where we can go to look at Wyoming-specific information on power of attorney. Wyoming has several statutory sections that address power of attorney or advanced medical directives. Most libraries across the state have a print set of the current Wyoming statutes. Everything that we're about to look at online can also be read in the print volumes. If a patron wants to read the statutes online, the electronic version offered by the Legislative Service Office is a very user-friendly choice. Its table of contents is easy to navigate, and it produces specific URLs, which is helpful if you want to send a patron a link to a particular portion of the statutes. Alright, where are we headed in the statutes? There are 3 statutes pertaining to power of attorney here. in Title 3, Chapter 5, Article 1. Let's take a quick look at these using the LSO website. You'll see we're here in Title 3, Chapter 5, Article 1. And here are 3 statutes: 3-5-101, 102, and 103. There are also several medical care specific statutes. These are in Title 35, Chapter 22, Articles 2, 3, and 4. Now we'll take a look at these. Here we are, Title 35. Chapter 22. You'll notice this is called living will, which is a term commonly used in association with advanced medical directives. And then you'll see we have Article 2, statutes relating to CPR directives. Article 3, statutes relating to psychiatric care directives. And here's Article 4, the Wyoming Healthcare Decisions Act. This last article gives lots of information about how advance directives must be constructed, about which information can be included, about who can sign as witnesses. A lot of stuff that a patron may want to learn about advance directives is right here in Article 4. Now, here's a question we get all the time from patrons. I'm guessing you do too. Where can I get the forms? And then we have to break the news to patrons. Wyoming is not a form state. The forms do not exist because Wyoming, unlike many other states, does not have an official set of forms. The good news is that some very nice sample forms are available. Patrons usually like this news. One good source of power of attorney forms for use in Wyoming is Legal Aid of Wyoming. Alright, there are several good forms available at Legal Aid of Wyoming, and these are the steps you would take in order to access them. At the Legal Aid of Wyoming homepage, you would hover on Legal Forms and select Wills and Estates from the drop-down menu. Your first option on that page will be Estate Planning Forms. You'll click that choice, and there you will see 2 different options. One will be for power of attorney forms, and the other will be, as you see down here, living will and advance directive forms. Each of those options will give you 2 forms to choose from. Those forms are fairly detailed documents. They'll have blanks for the user to fill in, and each one of them you'll find will have subpoints that may or may not be relevant to the individual who's using the document. So this is really just a sample, but it is an excellent template and can be very useful for a patron who's seeking these forms. Well, that is everything I have to share with you today. I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I'd like to thank Jamie Marcus and everyone at the Wyoming State Library for all of their guidance and assistance with this webinar. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to put those in your chat box now, and I will do the best that I can to address them in the next few minutes. Otherwise, you're welcome to contact me at the Wyoming State Law Library anytime. I'll be happy to hear from you. Again, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day.